Yo, people, and welcome to another episode of Through a Different Lens podcast. I am your co-host, Joe.
I'm Dej.
And I'm Jacob.
My boys, how we doing? How we feeling? Everything good? Everything blessed?
Yeah, man.
All good over here, bro.
Yep. Nice midday recording for once, Everyone's here at the midday, so, get it done early.
Trust me.
Yeah, not wrong. Everyone got to utilize the times that we got, whether it's in London, it's in Mansfield, it's all over the gaff, all over the in fact, we've done recordings all over the world. A man's done it on the beach in Grenada.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
On the streets of
Morocco.
Mm-hmm.
Trust. Tried to do it in LA, but the time you lot started, I was fast asleep.
Yeah.
All right, let's just go straight into it. This year is the year of giving in the Premier League with Premier League sackings, but this week especially, earlier in the week, Thomas Frank got the boot from Spurs, and then last night at around 12:30 a.m., Nottingham Forest put out a statement that Sean Dyche has been sacked. The timing in particular of the statement or tweet, I was literally just about to go to bed. Well, we were messaging in the chat anyway, regarding something else, and I was like, huh? Sean Dyche has been sacked at 12:31. Obviously, they would have told him after the game and stuff, but I think it's so Forest. But where should we start first? Spurs or Forest?
Yeah, we'll start with the most recent. Let's start with Forest, because it just happened.
Boy,
Brother, I don't know.
What can you even say about this one? Because they sacked their manager. What are they going to do? They're not a big club in the sense that they're Tottenham, where they could have maybe a plethora of managers. They're just going to get one that's just been sacked recently as well. Bro, is this recycling of losers, fam? But I don't think it's... Well, that's high level sport, man.
It's weird though, It's weird because when they sacked Ange, I said they shouldn't have sacked Ange. I know Joe has different opinions on that, with obviously the run of games and how bad it was. But I said, what do you think's going to change with Sean Dyche? You know what you're going to get from him. At least Ange was coming to implement some form of system. Yes, he didn't do well with Tottenham, but he won a trophy. You're getting a manager that's won actually everywhere he's gone in some capacity. Do you get what I mean? So when they hired Sean Dyche, I was like, it's this type of manager. We were speaking about yesterday, the Sam Allardyces, the Alan Pardew's.
Yeah.
The Neil Warnock type. You get what I mean? The ones you bring in to save your season and then you're going to sack soon. But if they can't save your season quickly, you're going to sack them early. So I was like, I wasn't a fan of the Sean Dyche managerial signing in the first place. Obviously not in the Forest fans were, because he's not in Nottingham through and through. They thought he was going to bring back that, grit to the club and this and that. But this is the new Premier League. You got to bring in innovative managers. And I feel like the sacking of Ange was the problem. You bring in old school with this new school regime, it's not going to mesh anymore. You just have to understand that. And Nottingham Forest owner, I don't really know what he's on in general, bro. He's just too volatile. He doesn't know what he wants. He just does things. So, yeah, I don't know where they're going to go from here. Maybe Amorim.
I wouldn't recommend it, but maybe. The thing with Forest, they're what? 3 points above the relegation zone. Their form in their last six, their form wasn't great. Last six in the league, I should say, because in the Europa League, they had a loss and I think a draw, but they're in the next stage anyway. I believe they've got Fenerbahce next week. But in the league, the last six, I think they've won 2, drawn 3, and lost 1, if I'm not mistaken. It was something along those lines, but they had like 4 before that where they lost 4 in a row, innit? You get me? And I don't feel like, again, like in terms of our Daesh, from Ange to Daesh, my thing was Daesh just come stable the ship and then keep them up, because I presume that's what all the max they were going to do anyway. And it's not for me like it's gone downhill. Like this, again, like you said, third manager that's been sacked this season. They're literally four managers. They're about to appoint their fourth. It's going to be 4 managers in 6 months. And again, you're 3 points above the relegation zone, but it's not like your form was teetering where it was disgusting. Like the other night, they should have won against Wolves. Was it Wolves? Yesterday, I think they had nearly 30 shots last night, and they just couldn't put the ball in the back of the net, and it was a score draw. But I mean, a draw. Sorry, goalless draw. And like, where do you go from here? Genuinely, where do you go from here? Like, as a Forest fan, they were on the ultimate high last season, getting European football, Europa League spot, then getting Conference League spot, but then getting Europa League because of what happened to Palace. And they made signings where people thought, all right, cool, they've got a squad where it can do decent enough to maybe compete at a decent level in the Prem and then Europa League as well. But yeah, this manager turnover is insane, like insane.
Yeah, this
It's
manager
all ego driven.
turnover, it shouldn't come from this kind of club, because whoever the message you're sending out to your next potential manager is that, all right, you've got 2 months max.
That's what they're giving them now.
Then after that, after that, if they're not in a better position, you just have to tighten up for the champ.
That's the thing. That's the thing, though. It's all the problem with Nottingham Forest right now. I think it's the owner. The owner's all ego driven. Like he's not. He wants to be the main man instead of letting the manager be the main man and you just own the football club. Do you get what I mean? He wants his name up in headlights. That's why he sacked Nuno. Didn't get along with the manager that took you to where you've not been in how many years. You get what I mean? You sacked the manager that was most successful for the most recent period of time. The players loved him. You get what I mean? You then block Morgan Gibbs White's move in the summer, sign Ange, sack Ange after 7 games, sign Sean Dyche, sack Sean Dyche after a couple of months. The next person coming in, as you said, it's going to be hell for them because if they don't, they already know what's happening. How many managers is he currently paying? He's currently paying 3.
Bro.
That's a good point.
Sorry, he's playing more than that because he owns Olympiacos as well, doesn't he? Yeah. So he's currently paying 4. And whoever else he sacked over there, I don't know who he sacked down there, but he probably did. So he's currently paying bare people instead of just having stability. You had a stable club, you had stability at the start of the season or going into the start of the season. You and your ego put you where you are. So, Forest fans can feel any type of way, but the only person they can blame is the man at the top of the ship.
Funnily enough, Dyche has the best winning percentage under this owner out of every single Forest manager.
I think he had 12 games or 13 games.
His win percentage is 47.1%.
What does the owner want? Why are you sacking man after 12, 13 games? Like 13 games, how is that enough to implement a system? You usually have all the preseason. Yeah.
Bearing in mind, he's winning basically half of his games.
So what does he want?
We're not saying Dyche is God's gift. Do you know what I mean? We know when you bring in Dyche, the last couple years, it is to just keep the club up. It was, I think Dyche only has 1 relegation from the Premier, if I'm not mistaken, which was the last job he got to save a club, if I'm not mistaken. I might be wrong, but...
Or was it Burnley?
Yeah. Did he go back to Burnley, or...?
I thought he got relegated with them and then left.
You might be right. Then there was a club that hired it. Maybe it was it Everton that hired him, but they sacked him before they
stayed up.
Yeah. So, like, again, you know what you brought him in for, and apparently they're in talks with the former Wolves manager, Vitor Pereira.
That's what they can get, fam. That's what they can get. Like, who else are they going to be in talks for? Thomas Frank?
Maybe. At this point, yes. At this rate, yeah, they may as well, because he could do it with Brentford, so he could do it with Nottingham Forest. But
they've got a good enough squad that they should stay up.
I mean, you can't do it with that owner, though.
That's the problem. The owner's the issue. It's not the managers, because the owner's ego driven. If you don't follow what he says, if you don't sign the players that he wants, bro, it's okay. Well, you know what? I've sacked 4 of you. I've sacked 3 of you guys before. I don't care. You go too.
Heads will roll.
So Nuno got sacked September, Ange got sacked October, and then Dash sacked Feb. So Dash had 4 months. Obviously, Nuno, there was beef in the summer. It trickled down into the beginning of the season. We knew he was going to go. Like Jacob said, Ange only got, 8 or whatever games. Boom. The form was horrific, though. And then Dash, yeah, I honestly, and it's so funny because I saw we're gonna come on to the big club point that Deji made at the beginning of this ep in regards to Tottenham to Forest, and I'm gonna tell you what Ange said when he was on the overlap. The overlap missed a trick by not waiting an extra day or two, having Ange on because they had him on the beginning of this week, I believe. The episode came out yesterday, and obviously his last 2 jobs have been Forest and Spurs.
Yeah.
But yes, on Spurs, whilst Forest sort out their debacle, we were discussing it in the car anyway yesterday between us that, like, I think Jacob, you said, what are Spurs also doing in terms of like what are they gonna get? Who are they gonna get?
They don't know, bro. They don't know. We don't know. Their owner don't know. No one knows.
But
Because
one thing for certain, though, they have a better selection than Nottingham Forest.
I don't know if they do, Dej. I don't know if they do. I really don't know if they do.
They're on the same club.
But Nottingham Forest are a bigger football club than Tottenham.
There's 2 points between them.
Yeah,
they're legit. Forest are 17th, Spurs are 16th.
Nottingham Forest are
Nottingham Forest don't have 11 injuries.
No, I know, but this might come off saying mad. Nottingham Forest are a bigger football club than Tottenham Hotspur.
Historically, yeah.
Tottenham's shiny new stadium does not mean that your football club is big and your nice training ground. Yeah, I'm just letting you know, Nottingham Forest have the history to back them. So am I going to sit here and go, oh, who's going to go and manage Nottingham Forest? Well, I'm saying ask the same question. Who's going to go and manage Tottenham? Because you see the squad right now. You see 11 injuries to key players. You see all the... what are you going in there for? You might actually get relegated.
Sean Dash.
So you just rotating the same few managers to different teams, see if you can work.
To keep Tottenham in the Prem.
Bro, he had the same job to keep Nottingham Forest in the Prem. They're currently safe.
Nah, but bro, see the difference? See that guy at the top there? Different guy.
That's true.
Tottenham didn't do 3 managers in 6 months.
No, because Tottenham are, cheap. So they don't like sacking managers like that. You get what I mean? They like to stick with someone so they can understand why. Okay, let's see. If Tottenham was smart, they would have sacked Thomas Frank 2 months ago. The Champions League was saving him.
Actually, this is the same club that got rid of Nuno as well.
Yep.
Wow.
Who have Tottenham
Different
not got
side
rid
of
of?
the same coin right now.
The last good manager for Tottenham was Pochettino.
I mean, Spurs sacked Mourinho a couple days before a League Cup final. And we know, regardless of their form, if you're in a final with Jose Mourinho, you go for it. We know Mourinho's
his record in finals are very certain.
It's not like obviously their league form was poor and everything, but it's not like they got knocked out at the time in the semi-final. You literally had a final to play in a few days and they sacked Mourinho. Regardless of what you think of him, you give that, if there's one manager you give a chance in the final, it's Jose Mourinho.
110%.
So yeah, I don't know. In terms of, I've not even seen who they've speculated to come in for them, because this I genuinely don't know. Again, Amarin, like you said for Forest, he might be a name. He's the only one that I can think of since you said it Forest-wise. But obviously Forest.
Graham Potter? I said Graham Potter yesterday.
Yeah, I don't know if Potter's going to take it, man.
For Spurs?
Either job. Either job at this point.
Yeah,
I didn't know Nottingham Forest job was available, but now either job.
If you think about it, at this stage of the season and the way the clubs are, both of them will be battling for the same managers, if you think about it. The only difference is Spurs are in the Champions League, but...
They're in the Champions League for one more round.
Yeah. And I don't know when like their best players are coming back from injury. I think
This is
Madison's
also
only
it.
started individual training. Kulusevski, we still got absolutely no idea. Kudus, we know he's still out long term. I don't know when
Yeah.
he's back. It's like
You know what? Maresca's out there. A name we don't thinking about. Maresca.
I sent Maresca in the car yesterday, but with all the talks of before he left Chelsea, he's waiting for Man City, waiting for Pep. Why? If Pep goes
How
in
long are
the
you gonna be
summer,
waiting for?
no, because it looks like Pep's gonna go in the summer, bro. If you know Pep's
You
going in
can
the summer,
afford
Pep,
to wait for a while.
yeah, Pepsi's boy. Remember, so Pep
That's
can
true.
literally say to him, "Yo, wait, and I'm gonna put in a proper good word for you."
Because
But then
Maresca's
they
still
can
being
still
paid
go
at
and hire
Chelsea,
Xabi
isn't it?
Alonso.
Huh?
Wait, go on, Jacob.
No, I said they can go. Man City can still go and hire Xabi Alonso though.
They can, but people think that's gonna be. They also think that's gonna be Liverpool's next manager if Slot does it. Do you know what I mean? If he gets the chop as well. So, like, Maresca left Chelsea for a reason.
Yeah,
And he knew, let me put the final nail in the coffin with certain words. I'm not doing the final interview. And then you lot
yeah.
drive me out
Was
and you'll pay me out.
so he got paid out.
He will get, because it was like, he didn't leave
Mutual.
himself, innit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So they're giving him something.
When they say
Yeah,
the
so
Yeah.
mutual
he can wait
consent, it's
still.
more or less,
No
yeah,
manager
yeah.
should ever leave. No manager. In fact, no one under contract should ever leave.
I mean,
Bro.
another thing we discussed yesterday, which happens to just fall in line with today's conversation.
So
So,
funny,
Mhm. No
bro,
one should. You're
being
under
a football
contract.
manager is the best sackable job in the world.
Mhm.
Or a head coach in top flight sports, in sports
Yep.
in general, but in top flight, you see it in NBA, they still get paid out. NFL, they still get paid out. Football, soccer, you still get paid out. So, yeah, Spurs are in a like you'd expect them to stay up, but it's tight because if West Ham had beat United, if we didn't equalize against West Ham the other night, West Ham would have been joint points with Spurs, if I'm not mistaken. And it's
Or
just
3
like,
points just behind. I think maybe 2 or 3
uh,
points behind.
yeah, sorry, yeah, you're right. Yeah, three. It would have been 3 points. No,
Yeah.
yeah, it would have been 3 points behind. My bad. Yes, because they're
It's
5 right now.
tough.
So like West Ham are 18th, they're 3 behind Forest and 5 behind Spurs. It's just anything, not anything. Do you know what I mean? West Ham have
Bro,
recently gone to Spurs and won, not too long, couple weeks ago, and they're in form compared to those teams. So yeah. But yes, back to Ange on your point of the big clubs. On the overlap, the clip that I heard this morning that came out yesterday, he said when you walk into Spurs' stadium and training ground, they've got a motto saying to dare is to do. But he said the club's actions is the antithesis of that motto. Like he said,
Mhm.
they don't. Then he said they're not a big club. They don't behave like a big club. They can spend in terms of the transfer fees, but when it comes to like wages and stuff like that, he said they're not a big club. He was saying, was it his first window or so, or the season they finished fifth in his first season? Um, whatever summer it was, like he wanted specific players. They got Dominic Solanke, which he was very happy with, but then he said they bought 3 youngsters. He said before that he was looking into bringing the likes of like top Premier League players, Embuemo, Semenyo, Gahey, and he said he'd said this to the club more or less in it, but their actions didn't validate the way they think they move. And I was like, do you know what? That's very interesting to hear, like
Yeah.
what Ange said. And on Ange, a lot of people kind of agreed with his Spurs sacking at the time, but for me, I didn't. I was like, bro, I don't care about the league position because the league was done at a certain point. They won the Europa League final. Spurs don't win trophies. He broke a massive curse in that club.
Mhm.
That's enough of a blight for me, innit? But people were like, oh, yeah. And then Ange said the proof was in the pudding. When he finished fifth, he expected them to behave like a big club and think, okay, cool, we're going to go for this and this. And they signed Solanke and 3 youngsters.
Look, you gotta understand that as big as Tottenham think they can't attract the same players that Arsenal, Man City, Chelsea, Man United, even to a sense Newcastle can attract. I'll be honest. Like as much as they believe in what they are, no big player is saying, I want to go to Tottenham. Do you get what I mean? You've got Semenyo coming out saying, I'll go anywhere but Tottenham. So
Crazy.
as much as they're saying they don't behave like a big club, everyone in the Premier League's got money. Everyone in the Premier League can pay you the same wages. Do you get what I mean? So you being Tottenham, you're now on a level playing field. It's not this big shiny stadium, as I said before. It's not the training ground. It's not the mottos you got there. You haven't got a history of winning. You got a history of selling your best players to big European clubs. Do you get what I mean? That's in your DNA. Like, people come there, develop, have a great time. You finish fourth, get you to fourth. You might finish second 1 year, maybe. And then you don't win anything and you go elsewhere to win something. You always lose out on your biggest and best players. And you have to pay them a load more to keep them because no one wants to come there. So I'm just right in what he said. I was in agreement with you. They shouldn't have sacked him because Europa League final, you win. That gets you into the Champions League. You then start again, new year. You didn't get relegated. You're in the Champions League. So you then go again, Champions League. You play this year, and you're better off. But what he proved is Tottenham's squad is not good, no matter what manager's there. Ange, Thomas Frank, whoever the next one's going to be, look at the league position. Can't win games at home. Gave Man City the bloody league last year because you look at you.
I knew that was going to come out.
I'm just saying, bro.
Can't help themselves. I knew that was going to come out.
I'm just saying, man, they're celebrating losses. You got a history. You're celebrating losing, so Arsenal can't win. Like, bro, what is this? And Ange was mad about that. He understood, bro. I come into each game to win. I don't come to games to lose. But I know some of the players were like, oh, no, they can't win because the fans. Stupid football club. So let's see where they are. Let them stay where they are.
Do you know what it is? Yeah, they need to reinvent this. They need to reinvent the identity, innit? Because they need to be the club that gets the good players before they go off to the bigger teams. But in order for that to happen, they need to acknowledge where they are.
I continue going. I just don't think that's going to happen. Spurs,
No, it's not going to happen because they think they're bigger than they are, innit?
Not even that. That is the way they ran. The way the stadium is making so much money for them. I genuinely just think that's what the owners care about right now. The way the NFL concerts, everything. Like, as a business, Spurs are one of the best businesses in the country from a sporting perspective.
Mm. But on the football pitch, they're one of the worst products in the Premier League.
But this is business.
I understand it's business, but you guess what your fans don't care about? The NFL, Beyonce, Jay-Z, Chris Brown coming to tour the concerts. They care about your football team winning games. And guess what? If your fans stop turning up to the main source of what your stadium's made for, games, you're going to lose out on what? Money. So you need to put a better product on the field. It's quite simple. It's been known over the course of years. If you don't have the product for what you're meant to have, you're going to lose out on money. So when people stop turning up, because eventually Tottenham in the Championship, people will not turn up, right?
I'm going to those games. Do you know how cheap they're going to be?
No. Other fans will be there. Randomers will be there, but you won't have any Tottenham fans there.
You don't need Tottenham fans like that.
Hold on, what are you saying? If they're in the Championship?
If they're in the Championship, Bear Man ain't turning up, bro.
Yeah. Then they're gonna have to put all those price tickets
down.
That stadium's expensive, but they might ask the government to chip in or something. I don't know, bro. No, real talk. Or they'll just have to sell some. They might sell some rights to the NFL for the stadium, bro.
Maybe, maybe.
The players out there. How are they going to pay all them players on what? You going to keep the budget the same without the TV money?
Yeah, because
they ain't got no relegation clause.
Exactly.
They're legit in a relegation battle. Like, obviously, in terms of just one spot, West Ham, who are 5 points behind them, but Burnley they're still quite far, but they're 11 points behind them. Do you know what I mean?
It is scary hours for Tottenham. I'll be honest, regardless, one big club's going down this year. West Ham not one big or major club is going down. West Ham, Nottingham Forest, Tottenham. I don't think Leeds are going down.
Leeds are only 1 point above Spurs, so there's 6
And
from West Ham. I feel
I
like
know, I
they're
just don't
over.
feel like Leeds.
I feel like they're overachieving, but whether they can maintain it.
I don't feel like they're overachieving. I just feel like people are very, very bad. I feel like Leeds would be near enough around these type of points. Obviously, Burnley, okay, cool. Wolves have been begging to go down for the past 2 years. You get what I mean? They've just been begging us, please get us go. This year's the year they're done. But like the rest of
No,
the rest of the
for me,
guys.
I feel like Leeds are slightly overachieving because even before the season started, in the summer, there was talks they were gonna sack Daniel Fark, because they just wanted to get like a more proven manager in it, and it's like
Mm.
Fark's done a hell of a job. Like even the results that they've been getting, 2-0 down at Stamford Bridge, 2-2. They done this kind of comeback at the Etihad as well, but then City went on to win it late. Like they're being the only team that has really, not the only team, but the one that sticks to my mind that has really dealt with Leeds quickly is Arsenal both times, home and away. Do you know what I mean? Like they're in and around these games. They're scoring goals. Like
They are.
Calvert-Lewin's rejuvenated. They've got a lot of championship-based players. Do you know what I mean? And they're performing. But again, that's because there's others that are underperforming. Because even Brighton are 1 point above them, Palace are 2 points above them. It's just that
Yeah, no, you're not
bottom
wrong there.
flex. Yeah.
Yeah, you need this year. You need to get to like 45 points, I think, as quickly as possible, because down there is looking real suspect.
Mm.
But do you see Tottenham getting 20? Where do you see Tottenham's next 20 points? Where do you see Nottingham Forest's next 20 points coming from? Do you get what I mean?
But Tottenham's next fixtures is obviously North London derby at home.
Points.
Arsenal home or away, they never win. Hopefully they do. Fulham away, Palace at
No,
home, Liverpool away, Forest at home, and
that's
then
gonna
that
be it.
goes into that. These are the games up until the international break. So their next 5. And then for Forest, for instance, they got Europa League, Fenerbahce away first, so away then home. But in between that is Liverpool at home, which they can get a point or win. Brighton away, they can get something. Man City away, Fulham at home, don't know. And then Spurs before the international break away. So that I feel more confident in Forest picking up points than Spurs.
Yeah.
And I would or if Dash was there, for instance, we don't know who Forest are going to get. So, yeah.
We don't know who's Tottenham are going to get either. So I don't think they can even go interim managers right now. You know, I don't think that's the smart thing to do. I don't think going interim managers. I feel like you need to hire someone, because I know the interim managers work for Carrick at United right now, but you got someone that knows the building. Who knows the building at Tottenham?
Ryan
Who knows the
Mason.
building at Nottingham Forest?
That's the only name that came to mind yesterday for
Who knows the
between
building
us
at
in
Nottingham
our
Forest?
conversation.
Roy Keane.
Who?
Roy Keane.
Then you said Roy Keane for Forest. Roy Keane and Marinakis, they will fight in the interview, let alone.
If there's one man that can turn it around, it's
Roy Keane. You see this managerial record.
It don't matter, man.
It's
Sometimes
like,
you just see the man's
even
manager.
before we hired Carrick as interim, people were like, some of the ex-United, the class of 92, they were like, oh yeah, Roy Keane. Then some fans were like, yeah, Roy Keane. I was like, in my group chat, I was like, broski, Roy Keane hasn't had a job for however long for a reason.
Yeah. Roy Keane and Gary Neville need to stay where they are, punditry. Never come back to management.
Gary Neville's never coming back. We
Nah,
know
he's
that.
never
He's
coming
accepted it. That's the thing. But
He's
even
making too much bread off the field, man.
I don't know why. Like, I just feel confident, regardless of who comes in for both clubs, that Forest may pick up more points than Spurs in the next couple games. Again, Forest's form wasn't that bad.
And the thing is, and you know who I do feel confident in? I feel confident in West Ham to win way more games than both of them. Do you know why? Because I see West Ham play. I see West Ham play, and West Ham should have probably they should have beaten Man United. They should have also beaten Chelsea when they lost 3-2. Yeah,
that game they should have definitely won.
They should have definitely won that. Yeah, they're throwaway games. And obviously that's a sign of a bad team throwing away games. But they throw away games that you're like, bro, you could be 5-0 up in this one, and then you end up losing it 3-2, or you end up drawing it 1-1, or you end up drawing it. Do you get what I mean? So I actually trust West Ham to pick up more points than both of them.
I think more than Spurs, yeah. Forest, I think Forest can go ban for ban with them. Like, again,
Yeah.
Forest should have won last night. They've had games even where they either lost or what. Like, they held on to Palace with 10 men for most of that game. Like, they've showed fight.
Mm-hmm.
Last night was just a bit of unluckiness. They haven't won in their last 3, but it's been 2 draws and a loss. And then before that, it was like 2 wins and a draw or whatever. And then obviously the 4 losses in a row. But it's like, bro, their form's not horrific. It wasn't a
Yeah.
sucker for
No, it's
offense for
not.
me. Like, we know managerial
No.
stints or games is just, a lot of it is a game of runs, for instance, and stuff like that. But you don't, it's like the Forest owner is very reactionary to every run.
Every
But
single run.
and you had a great thing going with Nuno, but there was clashes in the summer, and then that's just been the beginning of their downfall this season. And if they get relegated, it's because of what happened last summer between Nuno and the owner.
It's definitely karma anyway.
So, I mean, I don't want to talk too bad on the owner because they say he's a top dog. Do you know what I mean? So it's Deji and Jacobs,
Hey,
Marinakis,
look,
not me. Joe's the good one.
all I gotta say is he can't go and blame anyone if they get relegated. He can
Yeah.
only blame himself. That's fine. You get what I mean? If you're the one spending the money, if your club go down, you can take the blame because you made all the changes. None of the changes worked. You had something that was consistent. You made the change. So Tottenham, I don't know who they want to blame, but blame who you want to blame.
Facts. Well, it'll be interesting to see who is appointed for both clubs. We'll see if Spurs get the new manager bounce ahead of their North London derby against the Goons, who are top of the table. When's that game? On the 22nd of Feb. So they've got, from now, they've got 10 days to really, because that's when their next game is, to really go in terms of their appointment. Give them new manager at least 5 days to work with the players in and out. Do you know what I mean? And then we'll see where they go from there. Because yeah, I mean, it's not looking, for me, it's really not looking good for them. Because again, don't know when their best players are going to be back.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it's what it is, man.
Boy, what are you saying? Quick song of the week before we wrap this one up.
Yep.
Okay.
Quick clip. Let me see who wants to go first.
You might have to go first.
With me?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. My song of the week this week is from Goldmouth, the album called Goldmouth by one of my favorite rappers, Loot. He's part of Dreamville, J. Cole's label, and it's Eye to Eye featuring Cos.
Okay.
Nice. Are you saying Loot? This guy's good to listen to, yeah, like individually.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Mine is Wale and Odile, City on Fire.
Fair play. Tune still.
Ooh.
My one is called Holding Me by an artist called Steady. With 2 S's.
Oh.
Nice.
Fair. Okay, well, thank you all for listening, for watching, tuning in. Of course, me and the brothers, we really appreciate it, as Dej likes to say.
You tell a friend to tell a friend.
And Jacob.
Like and subscribe.
Yes, what they said, hit those buttons, support the man them, because we will keep delivering for you guys. And we've got a good one coming out soon as well. So keep your eyes out for that one. And yeah, thank you, Premier League, for giving us more than enough talking topics within the last couple of days, let alone this 2026. I mean, they started off Jan 1st or so, Maresca attacking, and then Amarin a couple of days later. So, hey, this 2026 is showing that, hey, anyone can get it. That's it. That's what it is. Anybody can get it. But yeah, I thank you all again. Joe, I'm signing out.
Dej
Guys,
signing out.
Jacob
sorry.
signing out.
Thank you all for listening.